Minecraft's Farlands have captured the imaginations of players for over a decade. They're bizarre, otherworldly, and technically never meant to exist. But what are they? How did they come to be? And what theories tie these warped landscapes to the greater mysteries of Minecraft? First, let's get on the same page. The Farlands are a phenomenon in Minecraft that occurs to when the game's terrain generation system breaks down. Technically speaking, this happens when you travel about 12,550,821 blocks from the world's spawn point. At this distance, the floating point arithmetic used to calculate terrain generation becomes imprecise, resulting in glitchy, chaotic landscape. The result? Jagged cliffs, endless mazes of caves, and unexploitable voids. In a way, it's Minecraft's version of the edge of reality, a place where the rules of the game no longer apply. The Farlands were first discovered back in the early days of Minecraft, during the beta 1.7.3 era. Players like Kurt J. Mack, who started his iconic Farlands or Bust series, helped cement the phenomenon as one of the game's greatest mysteries. The idea of traveling millions of blocks just to see this chaotic terrain became a rite of passage for die-hard fans. In 2011, Notch, the creator of Minecraft, acknowledged the Farlands, calling them a fun bug. But with the release of beta 1.8, the terrain generation algorithm was updated, effectively removing the Farlands from the game. Or so we thought. Even today, remnants of the Farlands exist in certain versions of the game, and players have found ways to recreate the experience through mods or by tweaking game settings. The Farlands might officially be gone, but their legacy lives on. One of the most popular and intriguing theories is that the Farlands were originally conceptualized as a standalone dimension, much like the Nether or the End. This theory suggests that Mojang initially toyed with the idea of a glitch-themed world, a place where the rules of Minecraft's physics and generation were intentionally chaotic. When comparing the Farlands to the End, the similarities are hard to ignore. Both locations evoke a sense of isolation and unease. The Farlands feature towering, jagged cliffs and broken terrain that seems to just defy logic, while the End is a void-like expanse filled with floating islands and eerie otherworldly structures. Both feel fundamentally wrong, as though they're places players were never meant to fully understand or inhabit. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence supporting this theory comes from the Infinity Snapshot, a joke update Mojang released on April 1st, 2020. This snapshot allowed players to generate countless randomized dimensions by renaming books and throwing them into nether portals. Among the bizarre dimensions players could explore, several featured terrain and glitches strikingly similar to the Farlands. In one particularly notable dimension, players discovered jagged, chaotic landscapes that mirrored the signature look of the Farlands. This wasn't just a random coincidence. Mojang intentionally coded these chaotic dimensions into the snapshot as a nod to the Farlands. Some players even theorized that Mojang used this snapshot to test public interest in a glitch-themed dimension as a potential future addition to the game. Adding more weight to the theory, consider how Mojang has a history of scrapping and reworking ideas before releasing them. The Nether, for instance, was an experimental feature for years before it became the dimension we know today. The End went through multiple iterations before becoming the desolate home of the Ender Dragon. Could the Farlands have been an early prototype for the chaotic surreal dimension that eventually evolved into the End? Now, let's talk about another theory. Let's talk Herobrine, the infamous urban legend of Minecraft. Some believe that the Farlands are where Herobrine resides. The theory goes that Herobrine, a ghostly figure haunting the game, corrupts terrain as a manifestation of his power. Reddit user u/Pixel Explorer posted a screenshot claiming to have seen Herobrine in the Farlands, sparking a debate that's still ongoing today. Skeptics argue that it's just a human tendency to see patterns in randomness, but believers see this as proof that the Farlands are Herobrine's domain. Some theories also link the Farlands to Minecraft's lore about the ancient builders, the civilization that supposedly created the structures we find in the game, like, temples and strongholds. Could the Farlands have been their failed attempt at creating a utopia? Or could it maybe be some area that the ancient builders had yet to conquer? Supporters of this theory point to the maze-like structures of the Farland, which mirror the labyrinthine design of strongholds. What if the Farlands are the remnants of a long-lost experiment gone horribly wrong? Finally, there's the idea that the Farlands are evidence of parallel universes in Minecraft. The chaotic terrain could represent the boundary between dimensions, much like the multiverse theory in real-world physics. This ties into the Nether and the End, which could be alternate versions of the Overworld. Some players speculate that traveling beyond the Farlands might unlock a hidden dimension, or at least give us clues about how Minecraft's dimensions are connected. While there's no hard evidence, the idea has inspired countless fan theories and even mods exploring this concept. The Farlands are more than just a glitch. They're a cultural phenomenon. On Reddit, forums, YouTube, players have shared their theories, their stories, and even their artwork inspired by this strange terrain. A quick Google search will reveal everything from creepypastas about getting trapped in the Farlands to detailed fan theories about their significance in Minecraft's lore. Whether you see the Farlands as a programming quirk or a gateway to Minecraft's greatest mysteries, one thing is clear: they've left an indelible mark on the game and its community. So what do you think? Are the Farlands just a glitch, or do they hold deeper secrets about Minecraft's world and its lore? Whether you're a seasoned player or a newcomer, the Farlands remind us of what makes Minecraft so special. The endless possibilities, the hidden stories, and the thrill of discovering the unknown. Thanks for watching.